everybody, it's Doug Green, and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News. And I'm very pleased to have MJ Shore with me. MJ, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Doug. Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate the invite. Excited to have this chat.
So MJ, in telling everybody what you do, and you're the Chief Community Officer for the GTIA, formerly CompTIA Community, we get right to the news that we're sharing, which is the name change of CompTIA to the Global Technology Industry Association.
Yeah. So if some of your viewers and listeners may or may not know, back in November, we announced our intention to sell the CompTIA brand and the training and certification business. A lot of people know CompTIA for A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, vendor neutral technical certifications. We announced our intention to sell that off and to separate the organization. So CompTIA, on January 9th of this year, CompTIA became a for-profit company operating under the name CompTIA Inc. And the Computing Technology Industry Association, which was formerly known as CompTIA, that was our brand, renamed to the Global Technology Industry Association, or GTIA. And so that's why we renamed and rebranded, because we sold our name off. And so on January 9th, we announced to the world our new identity, but same mission. And in many cases, you could argue a clearer mission now that we are solely focused on our membership, who are primarily IT channel organizations, and no longer having our attention divided between our vendor neutral nonprofit trade association and our former certification and training business, which was how we funded our association. But now, as a result of the sale, we've now have an endowment that will ensure our operating budget in perpetuity. So it's an exciting time for us, for our members, and for the industry.
So this was basically the underlying cause for the new name and rebrand.
Right. We had to rename because we sold off our name. The Computing Technology Industry Association was around for 42 years, started back in 1982 as another acronym, of course. Love our industry and acronyms, right? It started as the Association of Better Computer Dealers, ABCD, and then it rebranded to the Computing Technology Industry Association, which became known by the short name CompTIA. And so CompTIA became the identity and the brand behind both the trade association, the nonprofit membership community, and the certification and training business. And so the opportunity presented itself. There was an opportunity for us to sell off that brand and that revenue engine. And the proceeds of that sale belong to the association, but we can no longer use the CompTIA name. So that's why the new name.
So hence the new name. Now, with the new name and new brand, what can members expect?
Well, in many ways, they can expect more of the same. We've really focused through the first quarter of this year on stability, no interruption to our member experience and member benefits, but they can also expect a whole lot more. So, for example, we've announced our intention to significantly raise our charitable giving, to give back to the communities where our members live and work, to help make more people aware of and help people get access to technology jobs and careers, and to invest in technologies and initiatives that will help underserved populations, remote populations, anything that will leverage technology to do social good for people where they live and work. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is you can definitely expect to see more of the same in terms of our flagship benefits, our events, our industry research, our member education, our advisory council program, mentorship programs, all the benefits that our members consume and engage now, our cybersecurity programs, etc. Those will all stay the same, but also get some new focus, because now that we are singularly focused on our members and the IT channel, we intend to expand all of that. So where, for example, ChannelCon is our flagship industry event every year. It takes place in the summer. This year it'll be the 29th to the 31st of July in Nashville. We're extending that across the pond. We used to have an event in London called the EMEA Member Conference. That will now be known as ChannelCon EMEA. We're extending many of the different activities that we do at events to all of our global regions. We currently operate in 6 global regions around the world: North America, which is the US and Canada, the UK and Ireland, the Benelux region of Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, the DACH region of Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the ASEAN region, which is an acronym for the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So that's Singapore, Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand. It's an economic bloc of 10 countries, but does not include India or the Koreas or Japan, for example. And then we also have our Australia, New Zealand region. So you can expect to see more programming happening in all of these regions, more localized content for those that are non-English speaking regions. And we've been listening very intently to our members and asking for feedback from our members and even non-members. We hosted 3 global town halls in February, for example, one in the North America area, one in UK and Europe, and one in Asia Pacific, specifically where we were looking for ideas. What do our members want to see from GTIA moving forward? And we have a suggestion box on our website at gtia.org/suggestion box. We're happy to have input. We're a sponge for that kind of input. We want to make sure that we are doing what our members in the industry need.
So MJ, there are signature events that people look forward to from your organization. Do we have them coming up?
We do. So the next what we refer to as premier event is ChannelCon. ChannelCon 2025 will be held in Nashville at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. We're excited about it. It's been really gratifying, Doug, to see the response to the rebrand and renaming. We have had record registration and attendance at all of the events that we've hosted so far this year, and we're expecting that trend to continue. So we expect ChannelCon to be one for the ages, right? You always hope every event's going to be that, but I think with the interest and enthusiasm around the rebrand, we're anticipating that this ChannelCon will be one not to miss. And we're building out our content tracks now. We just announced our keynote speakers. We'll have 2 keynote speakers this year, and these won't be your typical event keynote. Instead of a well-known celebrity or personality, we focused on 2 keynotes that will bring very actionable insight and advice to attendees to take back to their businesses, the very day they get back. So one of our keynotes will be all about AI. No surprise there, I guess. It is the hottest topic in the industry these days. And the other will be on radical candor and building culture. So we're excited to have 2 keynotes for the first time. And as I said, to bring a lot of actionable insight and advice to attendees from each of these keynoters to bring back to their companies and even their customers. So that's our next big premier event. ChannelCon EMEA will be in London in October, but we also have several regional events coming up. In mid-May, we've got a meeting of our DACH community taking place in Munich, Germany. So if any of your listeners are in Germany or the greater DACH region or continental Europe for that matter, they're absolutely welcome to come to that. In June, we have our UK and Ireland, what we call Community Forum, which is a meeting where our members come together and roll up their sleeves to work on initiatives, member-led initiatives that will yield content, be it white papers, guides, tools to help members. And that event also is capped off by our UK and Ireland Spotlight Awards ceremony, which, because it's in the UK, it's a black tie event. So it's pretty fun, though I have to schlep a tux across the pond for it. but that's okay. It makes for a great day. So that'll be in June. Then we've got ChannelCon as I mentioned, at the end of July. We'll have our ANZ Community Forum and Spotlight Awards in Sydney in September. I mentioned the Channel Economy in October. So best thing I could recommend is just keep an eye on gtia.org/events. That's updated almost every day with new events. And if you're interested in ChannelCon, you can go right to the ChannelCon site at channelcon.gtia.org. But that gtia.org/events is the best place to keep watch on all of our both in-person as well as virtual events, because we have member meetups taking place on a monthly basis. So lots of opportunities to engage in person or online.
I have to get used to the new GTIA.org, but did I get it right there? I put it up on the thing.
Yeah,
so
that's perfect.
And that still also has the website has a wealth of information and resources and other things too.
It does. Yeah. And we're adding to it all the time. We built out the new website the end of last year, and it was ready at launch, and we continue to add to it by way of, more information about the organization and how to get involved, as well as the resources that you mentioned, and more's to come. So, definitely keep an eye on it.
And that's a really good thing as we close up our podcast today, that even if you're not a member, you can get involved. This is not just for members only right now.
Correct. Absolutely. So we have a, quote unquote freemium type of membership. We call it a subscriber. You just have to give us your name and email address, and you get access to the resources that we make freely available. But, for anyone to dip their toe in the water and get involved, and you can come and attend our meetings as well. It's a good way to sort of test the waters, if you will, if that's your preference. Especially because membership belongs to a company. So, if you're one person at a large company and your company may not, if you're not sure if your company's a member, sign up with your company email address. And if you are a member, it'll attach you to the membership account, and you'll have free access to everything. But if you're not, it'll set you up as an individual subscriber, and you can sort of see some of what's going on, and some of the resources that we offer, and decide if membership might be right for your organization.
Well, I hope everyone takes a good look at it, maybe thinks about it. I know I get a lot out of coming to the ChannelCon event and historically what GTIA has done. So I think everyone should take another look.
That. That's what we aim for, right? We're trying to make a positive impact for everyone. So it's always terrific to hear a firsthand account that you found value and enjoyed the event. That's what we're here for, is to provide a meaningful experience, not just a good member experience, but an impactful one that helps you with your career and helps your business with your goals.
Well, MJ, I think it certainly does, by the way. I'll ratify that statement. So with that, MJ, thank you very much indeed for joining us. There's so much to talk about with GTIA, but thank you for giving us at least an overview of the very strong organization with a new name, but with sounds like basically the same mission and lots of refreshed content and a very interesting high content show coming up.
Yes, thanks so much, Doug. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and share some insight with all of your listeners. Appreciate what you do.
Well, we'll look forward to the next one, but for now, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks.